Hey guys, happy Monday. It's a beautiful day. We're around about 40 degrees and the sun's out. Anyways, you guys saw I had to start my Jeep yesterday to move it out of the road to get to this to change some front wheel bearings. I started this yesterday afternoon trying to change these wheel bearings. Normally if they cooperate like this side, doesn't take too long at all to change, but when they're stubborn like this side, it takes forever. To give you guys an idea, here's the inner races. I'll show you both of them. They were seized to the spindle shaft over there. I had to take the grinder and cut them off, and the outer ones were seized into the hub. I'm still fighting with the inner one. As you can see, I got it moved a little bit. I'm waiting for the PV blaster to soak in some more. I got the outer one out. The inner ones normally go on these because the dirt and sandy water gets in the drum and gets trapped in there, and then it goes into the bearings. Even though they're sealed bearings, I'll have to find the bearings here and show you. Okay, here we go. I found the other package. I had to go in and ask my mom. I knew she probably knew where they were at. But, anyways, this is a Mongoose Racing wheel bearing kit for these Kawasaki Bayou 220s. If you guys have paid attention to my videos, you know we have about 4 of these. Pretty decent quads. I'm a little bit hard on stuff, so they don't really last too long for me. But they come with an inner and outer bearing and a new seal. So once I get this last outer race out, I guess I'll show you guys putting this back together. Really pretty simple. Once you put the bearings in, all you gotta do is excuse me guys. Once you put the bearings in and slide them on, just this little spacer slides in over here outside the nut. Then you put the large castle nut back on down there and just tighten it down until the bearings don't spin freely, and then like back it off an eighth turn, quarter turn, until the hole lines up for the carter pin, and that's basically installing them. I mean, they're pretty simple. So anyways, I'm going to work on hammering this bad boy back out here. I think it should come out now. I got it broke loose. And yeah, I'll show you that. Okay guys, I also forgot to mention, I've had these sets for, I want to say a couple years. I've had these sets of bearings because where I used to ride every weekend, I go through a set of wheel bearings every weekend. Put 100 miles, 150 miles on the weekend, and I can wear a quad out in a weekend, truthfully, where I used to ride a lot. So, for the outside bearing, well here, I'll show you guys. This is the inside bearing, this is the outside bearing. The outer bearing is a little bit smaller, so you can't screw it up, and you can't put the inner and outer bearings in the same place, which I think they basically just did that so you couldn't buy 2 of the same bearings, I think. I don't know. No, Kawasaki. So, alright, you want to make sure your bearing area is nice and smooth, which mine actually is not. So I'll have to take a file and clean that up there. File, some sandpaper, take a screwdriver, knock it back in, whatever makes it smooth. Because I had to really hammer on this one to get it out. The other side was alright. The outer bearing, let's see, where's the rating at? There's 1 1/8 will work. The inner bearing is 1 1/4 socket to press them in. So I'm going to clean up the bearing surfaces, and I'll get back to you here in a second. Okay, anyways guys, I got ahead of myself. Put the inner bearing back in. As you can see, I just recommend just using a hammer and tapping on the outside race for driving it in. And for the outer one, work, man. Nope, that's just too big. I have to use these. Oops, guess you guys fell. Hopefully you guys didn't go for too much of a ride there. Yeah. Looks like the camera's still working. Anyways, I think that's about it. And next we're going to put the seal in, which just basically just put it in with your fingers. That's all there is to replacing wheel bearings on a Kawasaki 220. The only other thing I do recommend is while you have it apart, check out your brakes. Mine, the front brakes never worked on them. The other thing is to take some sandpaper or emery cloth or something and clean up the shaft a little bit, get the rust off. It'll make installation so much easier. It'd probably be a good idea to put some anti-seize on this too. You can see my wheel bearings were so bad they were rubbing there. Yeah, they were rubbing, dragging, they wouldn't actually turn. I had to drive it around in reverse. So, yeah. I meant to do this last fall, but kind of got put on the back burner with some other projects. So, that's why they started rusted up so bad. I remember, I think the last time I did wheel bearings on this, I had to, use the grinder and cut the inner races off. This freaking beat up good enough. Get the hub, put it back on. It's a good idea to put some sort of oil on the seal here, so it doesn't burn. They call it running the seal dry, which will burn them. PV Blaster isn't the best thing for this, but it's a lot better than nothing. First mud puddle you go through, it'll be off there anyways, so it doesn't matter. So, there you go. Oh, just need the hammer again. Got my little helper here. Say hi, Brownie. Not gonna say hi now, huh? No? So, alright, since this is actually a pretty tight fit, you have to take a hammer and tap on the inner races in order to get them to go on. Kind of got to be careful once you get to the threads here. You don't want to damage the threads. I know you guys probably can't see diddly squat down there, but apologize, I don't have an extra set of hands. Hopefully you guys can somewhat see something there, I don't know. Okay. And basically, you just crank down the nut. I'll pick you guys up so you can see this better. Basically, you just crank down on this nut until this doesn't freewheel anymore. Like, see, it's getting there. Oh. Okay, that's probably tight there. See, it won't hardly turn at all. And I recommend backing it off about a quarter turn if I can do it. Right about there. A little bit of load, but they pretty much freewheel. Maybe we'll go back another eighth. See, that's too loose there. It needs to be about there. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's how to replace the wheel bearings. Normally, you can get away without removing the wheel from the hub. It actually makes it a lot easier when you're pounding on it because it'll hold the hub. To get these out, I've changed these wheel bearings probably about 500 different times. So yeah, over the course of 10 years. So I'm pretty decent at it. Whenever they're not rusted in the hub, you can change both sides in about 10 minutes. About what I do, I normally carry a hammer and a screwdriver and a crescent wrench with me to change these on the trail because they go bad all the time. It was one of the poor designs on Kawasaki's part. That and the only other complaint I have is there's a bearing in the drive shaft back there, and the housing back there, and it all the time goes bad too. So I've actually removed that bearing completely on all my machines to keep it from squeaking and making noise and binding up the drive shaft. So, alright, thanks for watching. That's how to replace wheel bearings on a Kawasaki 220. And then the last step is to get a new Carter pin and put in the hole right here, and then bend it over, and then put your hubcap back on, and put your wheel back on. Take your jack or whatever other device you've used to hold it up out, and you're ready to go riding. So yeah, thanks for watching.